Doom, doom, that's the story of a hurricane. Doo, 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 doom, da da dee, doo, 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 dee. Cha, 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 cha. Welcome to the Daily Grind. And if you are in the path of the hurricane, I hope you are safe. It's raining up here in Tennessee. I am your host, Luke Hatmaker. It's Friday. It's actually Friday now, and the weekend is upon us, and I got buckets with me. How are you, brother? You ready for the weekend?
I am, man. I am inside. I am dry. I'm ready for the weekend, and I am looking forward to hanging out with you this morning, getting started, talking some Grizz, man.
Yeah, man. We've got stuff to talk about. We've got news. No, I wouldn't say Grizz related, just sad. I mean,
Sure.
I think this news sucks. It was announced yesterday. You sent this to? Yeah, you sent this to us in the group chat. Zach Lowe was laid off by ESPN yesterday. I really enjoy Zach Lowe. Hyperbole, I could add more things in there. I've always enjoyed his writing. I like his perspective. I like his analysis. I like his point of view. He offers one of those, which is something ESPN needed. Sounds like this was a money decision, and that's it. And that sucks.
Wild. Yeah, it's wild, man, because ESPN is overpaying some of these talking heads that are there just for shock value, but letting guys like Zach Lowe and David Pollack and some of these actually like ball knowers go. Zach Lowe has been a guy I've read his Low Post or listened to his Low Post podcast for years. It is in my weekly rotation. He always wrote top-notch articles for ESPN.com. He also is a known Grizz fan. Like he's always been kind of pro Memphis, pro Grizzlies. Especially during those core 4 years, we were always a team that he highlighted, and he was always big on the Grizz. And so probably a little homerism there, but I kind of latched on to him way back, in like 2013, 14, when the core four was kind of peaking a little bit. And I hate to see him go. ESPN, in my opinion, my humble opinion here, this is not the opinion of Bluff City Media. This is of Rusty Buckets. Desperately needs guys who know what they're talking about because they've got too many like shock jock guys like Kendrick and like Perk and Stephen A. Smith and these guys that'll just say crazy things for attention. Zach Lowe actually knows basketball and gave quality opinions, like you said.
Yeah, man, and it's what gets me is he was never he was just going to give honest analysis, whether it might not be a flashy story, but it's like I the first thing I think of, he was always a champion of the Milwaukee Bucks up like the past 10 or so years because they have Giannis and other teams would be like, blah, 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 blah. Like, let's not talk about the Bucks, even though they're still like, he just seemed to be like, hey, I get that this isn't a sexy story right now, but like,
they're good.
It's ball. Yeah. They're good.
That's what he did with those core four teams. He talked about us being in the mud and appreciated what basketball was, right? Because like we played a different style of basketball, very much old school, and it very much was something he latched onto and supported. And Wayno's right in the comments. Look, Zach Lowe's going to be fine. He was too honest for ESPN. Again, he gave too many good talking points. He wasn't just a talking head spewing nonsense for attention. He actually gave quality analytical analysis. Kind of weird to say that analytical analysis, but anyway, I love it. He was actually analytical and it made sense. And so he'll land on his feet, much like, Kevin O'Connor. It's a weird time, right? Because Kevin O'Connor left Yahoo or left the Ringer going to Yahoo. Now we got Zach Lowe leaving. Like a lot of weird things are happening right now. If I'm the Ringer, I'm calling Zach Lowe yesterday and be like, yo, we have a spot here for you, sir.
100%. My thing, I don't know why you would even he's got too much gas in the can. Like he's got too much going for him to not land on his feet, to not have a show probably tomorrow.
Absolutely. Him and Verno on the mismatch could be a great, I don't know how much his personality lineup with Verno's like Kevin O'Connor did, but I could see it being a quality show. Again, if I'm the Ringer and I'm looking for like some lead talent, I made that phone call yesterday.
Yep. Or, I mean, if you want to come and hop on the Daily Grind every Friday or every pick a day, Zach Lowe. Yeah, see, Wayno gets it. Wayno gets it. Yeah. Oh, man. Have his people call my people. It'll be great.
That'd be awesome.
It'd be great. Let's talk about actual Grizzly stuff. Now, I wanted to leave the show with that. I didn't want to. I don't want to dwell on it because, like I said, we're going to be talking about the next part of his journey soon. Grizzlies I haven't got to talk to you about this, and I'm excited. As currently standing, where are my notes? I want my notes. As currently standing, the Grizzlies have 13 of 15. I don't know why I'm doing a voice. 13 of 15 roster spots.
It's like a little scrappy do there.
I don't know what keeps it interesting. That is interesting. They have to have 14 two roster spots open. You have to have 14 before training camp. Training camp starts October 3rd.
Yeah. It's coming up.
It's coming up. The Denver
next week.
Nuggets had media day yesterday. It's a week from tomorrow. That's what it is. It's a week from tomorrow is when it starts. So they have a week to fill one of these roster spots. They could fill both. They have three very talented people. I would say all three of their two-way guys are talented guys. Yep. I would say they have 4 guys on Exhibit 10 contracts. That's 7 dudes. Wayno gets it. I ordered a book about the G League that's coming today. I love the G League. We got 7 guys that are in-house. 7 in-house options for 2 spots. Let's say 1 spot because they don't need to fill them both.
Nope, and probably won't.
Probably won't. The obvious answer here is Scottie Pippen Jr. If they want to upgrade in-house. If they do that, then they can get one of these Exhibit 10 guys in one of the 2 ways. This probably is the easiest option with like this is the simplest option ahead of them. If they wanted to get frisky, they could do Cam Spencer and Scottie Pippen Jr. in both those spots if they wanted to and just have a full roster. I don't know why you would because for the first time in a hot minute, you can have your cake and eat it too. Yeah. If you're a Grizzlies fan, you can get your Scottie Pippen Jr. love, and then you can still have your flexibility like Uncle Buck has been screaming for. Or you could just go outside a house and sign someone completely. I'm not sure what our cap space is like right now, but with
D Rose opting out, I think it gave us we've got about $5 or $6 million, I believe, to play with underneath the cap, if I'm not mistaken, after what D Rose did. Which shout out Derrick Rose doing us a solid by not taking his last year's salary, letting that go back to the team. I hope that means that we're going to pay him in a different capacity as a coach or consultant or something like that. But it gives us a little bit more flexibility. And so, all right, here's my take. I think that Scottie Pippen Jr. is the obvious choice here, right? Like that's the obvious answer. Yes. It's in-house. That's the easiest thing to do. That's the layup. Also, it has been well known that the Grizzlies went out looking for another backup point guard. We made an offer for Tyus Jones. Like we were definitely kicking some tires around there. So I don't know if it's Pip in the eyes of Kleiman and these guys. Again, I know I'm going to sound like I'm beating a dead horse here, but we do not have to sign Scottie Pippen Jr. until February or March. Like we can play 50 games with him there. If I'm Memphis, I think, Dennis Smith Jr. is still available from the Nets. Like there's a few other guards that are kind of floating around out there that you could get on a $3, $4, $5 million contract, keep you under the apron, and fill a roster spot with a veteran, giving Pip some time to continue to grow and develop across those 50 games. Then maybe after the first of the year, you sign him. It's probably less sexy. It's less, I get I'm sure the pitchforks and torches are going to come out in the comments, but I don't know that we need to sign Scottie Pippen Jr. right now. Again, this is nothing against Pip. I think he's a great basketball player, but it's like I made the analogy on the $2 Sports Show. It's like buying a gallon of milk, put it in your fridge, look at it and go, you know what? I'm going to go buy another gallon of milk right now just in case so I can have it when this one's done. When this one goes bad in 2 weeks, right? Finish the milk you got. And then buy more milk. Let Pip play out his 50 games and then sign. But I think there are still going to be a few guys that we could go after, not named Scottie Pippen Jr., and I know we're going to leave one roster spot heading into the season. I feel confident about that.
Yes, I'm happy that this is what you said because we got $10 million, a little over $10 million in first apron space right now, cap space.
It is $10 million, so it is more than I thought.
You can sign. When you go and you look at the backup point guard, the full point guards that are available on the free agency right now, you don't got to spend all that money at all. I mean, Tyus Jones signed for what? Less than $2 million?
Yep.
Less than $2 million. Granted, that's a specific situation, but you look at the list of available point guards. You said Dennis Smith Jr. If I'm if I want to pick somebody that's not on this team, if I'm going to go and if I'm going shopping, I mentioned his name earlier on this show, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. I like Markelle Fultz.
I was just about to say that's another really good option from Orlando, man. Like he fits.
Yes. And if I'm climbing, that dude has climbing or has the DNA of a Grizzlies player all over him, just terms of like Kleiman loves what's it called, a player that he can find. He's like, you know what, a lot of GMs, Orlando couldn't figure it out, Philly couldn't figure it out with this guy. He's getting it. I can get him. I can like a top lottery pick that's made his way around the league, like Jarrett Culver. You know, like that's someone who's that I'm interested in, who also got good reps with a solid team with the Magic.
Yep. And Fultz, you know, while not as athletic as Ja, plays a similar style of kind of slashing. He can facilitate, maybe a poor man Derrick Rose.
And that's okay. What's wrong
absolutely.
with that?
We don't need this guy to be a superstar. That's the thing. Like, you don't have to, like, if you can get somebody for $5 million a year and just have somebody that's a good backup, solid backup point guard. We've shown what we can do with a serviceable backup point guard. Tyus Jones, like, he was, you know, stones when you needed him. He had some big games. He'd go for 2021. But, like, he never was the guy that really was, like, winning games for us. But he was a serviceable backup for Ja, and that's all we really need. And Markelle Fultz could be that guy. Maybe he comes in and, you know, he plays his tail off. He this is the spot that he needs, right? Like the coaching staff that he needs, the situation he needs to capitalize on that potential that we saw. And then he goes on to a bigger contract with somebody else. But if that's the case, then A, that means he had a really good season with us. B, we could slide Scottie Pippen Jr. into that spot. Then I'm like the Markelle Fultz, Dennis Smith Jr., like these guys, there's guys out there that make sense. And I'm telling you, like, I love Scottie Pippen Jr., but I don't think he's going to be the one that gets that promotion. Now, I may get off the air and it be Scottie Pippen Jr. signs with the Memphis Grizzlies, but like it feels like based on Kleiman's track record, Pip will sign after the first of the year, and we're going to fill that roster spot with somebody right now.
Yep. I mean, it just it's you got to think that whoever we sign, whoever this is, well, I mean, let me rephrase this. We will not be playing a backup point guard in the postseason. That's just, it doesn't matter. Like there's so much thought and so much like toil that we put into this. And it's like, you know what? We're talking about a guy who, when he gets to the postseason, might play 10 minutes a game, maybe.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I mean, that's it. We're talking about somebody who's going to log minutes in October, November, December, but down the stretch, if he's playing more in March and April, something has gone terribly wrong. Once again, like, there's not a world where I don't want Ja playing 35, 38 minutes a game, Marcus Smart handling the ball some. Like, there's not a world where I don't want that, where that's not going to happen. But like looking at Dennis Smith Jr., he was making $2.5 million last year with the Nets. The year before that, he was making 2.1 with the Hornets. So like, these guys don't have to be expensive. I'm looking at Markelle Fultz, like what his contract was. Let's see, he had a 3-year, $50 million deal. So he was about $16.6 million, but like he hadn't signed with anybody. So you can get him way cheaper than that.
Yes.
So you've got opportunity, you got flexibility to play around with this $10 million and see what happens.
Yeah, that the Fultz deal, that's like, look at the Tyus market. That Tyus signed that big deal with Wizards, and then it was the Wizards. It ain't there, man. The market's not there.
It's not, man. And, he, $9.3 million is what he was averaging on his rookie. It was his rookie deal with the Sixers. And so, like, there's opportunity for flexibility there. And then $16.6 million with the Magic, I think we can get it cheaper.
He's still young enough to turn it around, too. That's my thing. Like reclamation projects are a thing that we like here in Memphis, but this is a dude who going through the process in Philly and coming out the other side and still being able to have a semblance of a game with a team that is competing for a playoff spot. That's cool.
Yeah. 26 years old, 7 years of experience in the NBA. Like, I think he's still got tread left on the tires. And especially if it's in a backup role, like, we're not asking him to go out and play 30 minutes a night. We're asking him to give us 15 minutes a night to give Josh some spell early in the season. And I think Fultz can be that guy if he's willing to come in, say $6.5 million a year. Yeah.
Well, and then here's, you got to, the line of thinking here is to, if you don't go outside, if you keep it in-house, if you promote Scottie Pippen Jr., then you got to deal with the whole thing of, do you promote one of these 10-day guys to the two-way? Where does it, then you have another problem that you're opening up for yourself, because you're like, now you don't have to fill this two-way spot, but we like the hustle. We like our development. Like, they're going to fill that spot. Do you just throw one of these 10?
The exhibit 10 guys.
God,
there it is.
Thank you. It's just like it's a lot of moving parts that don't need. You're creating problems for yourself that you don't need to create when you can just go sign someone on the cheap.
None of these exhibit 10 guys move the needle for me, like that are going to be guys that are going to get a two-way deal. Again, don't sign Scottie Pippen Jr. until you have to. I think we're going to go out and look outside of the organization. I think we've already kind of shown that a little bit. And again, pursuing Tyus and kicking the tires of some of these guys, I could very easily see us signing. And we're talking about guards here. We could very easily go sign a center too, because there's also a need for a backup big in there. And so maybe that's where they go. The direction they go is they go get another serviceable backup big. There's not a lot of great centers still left in the free agent market, but there are guys out there that you could probably go get that, again, we're asking to play 10, 15 minutes a night max.
On some nights.
Yeah, on some nights. Like there's options still available out there.
Yep, I agree. I'm excited. I mean, they've got a week left, and there's 6 days left. So this is actually that 14. Who gets that 14 spot is something that should be pretty. I mean, as exciting of a story that's what we're talking about. We're talking about a quote unquote exciting race for a backup point guard spot before training camp. But that's
that's where we're at.
That's where we're at. But do you remember as a Grizzlies fan when what we used to worry about?
It was way different, man.
It was way. If we're worrying about the backup point guard spot, everything's aces, y'all.
We're good. I mean, we're good. We got John Morant playing basketball in a little over a week. Like we're in tall cotton compared to where we used to be. That is for sure.
Man, my entire spirit was just uplifted when you said we get John Morant playing basketball. I literally felt, man, I can't.
What a day.
What a day, man.
Listen, I normally am the bearer of bad news on this show with Sean Connery and all things that I brought up.
Yeah, I know.
Glad I can finally bring some positivity to the show.
God, for real. Thank you. But you reminded me of Sean Connery again, so no thank you. We're going to take a quick break. When we get back, we're going to talk about the weekend outlook, speaking of our dear Sean Connery, right after this quick break.
I think Jabari Smith Jr., I don't want this to be true, but I almost feel maybe Tobias Harris, yo.
What's wrong with Tobias Harris? We've had this discussion. All the guy does is give you a double-double, 20 and 10.
Bro.
That's it. That's it. Every night.
Who?
Tobias Harris.
Stop that. Tobias Harris gives you a double-double 8 times a year. Stop that.
What?
He gives you
8 times a year.
I'm a fan. And this is what I'm saying because I continue to be like, he's a dude he's a tease. It's a tease. It's like, God, dog, he's sexy. But it just won't work. Like he should be, but it's there, but it's just when the games, it's just consistently. I don't know if it's you need more people to believe in it, something, but I don't want, and also just to get lost in the rest in that Houston team.
Tune in to the Night Court podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
I've always thought Norvell wasn't really that tight to me because I was like, bro, this dude ain't it to me, bro. He left with the humility, and that's the only reason why people ain't destroying his ass right now.
That 2019 year is what supplanted his legacy as like, he's the man. Oh, yeah, but let's not forget, he was one missed 20-yard field goal against Tulsa away from all of that being nothing. That one field goal changed everything. That missed field goal sent them to the AAC championship, brought game day to their place. I mean, that field goal changed a lot of people's careers. Ryan Silverfield wouldn't be here. Norvell wouldn't be in Florida State. It just changed everything. So
yep, that's facts. That's facts. Get him out of here. It'll put Memphis in the pole position to go and do what they gotta do to get to the college football playoff. If you win out, you got a chance to win out if you win this game against Florida State.
How crazy is that going to be?
It's going to be crazy.
Tune in to the Anthony Sane Show Wednesdays and Fridays at 12 p.m. weekly on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
Welcome back to the Daily Grind. Man, I need them to give me another commercial. I hate coming back from that one.
It's just such a because we all know what happened. They lost the Navy, and
I should just start cutting back from the commercial earlier, where I'm just like,
Yeah.
Just like,
exactly. Hey, listen, shameless plug. We talk about that on the $2 Sports Show today, 3:00. We talk about which Group of 5 team is now in the pole position for that 12th spot or that top seed for the Group of 5 in the college football playoff prediction. Hint, shock, I'm sure. Uncle Buck and I disagree on who it might be.
What?
Tune in today at 3:00 and find out. It's good stuff.
Yeah. Check that out, man. That and Anthony Sane will both be today. Check them both out. We got and then come back Monday. You get no bluffing, man. We got a lot. We got that at bluffcitymedia.co. Daniel Greer in the comments. He'll be back with the Grizz 901 live postgame show in 2 weeks. Right? Everything's coming back. Everything's coming back.
It's like the best time of the year. We're in the burr months. It's fall right now. I know we ain't done with the heat yet, but it feels good outside. Football's in full swing. Grizz basketball is back. It's spooky season. Maggie's house is all cutely decorated with Halloween and pumpkins and bats and stuff. So I'm just like, I'm here for this time of the year, man. Trader Joe's has all these great fall flavors. Like I'm here for it, man. Let's go.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. I don't know why I said it like a little elf. We get off the rails here, but that's why we're fun.
That's all right.
BluffCityMedia.co. Jess Benson's going to be starting soon over at Grind City Media. Go check everybody out. We got a lot of content. We're still churning it out, even though the season's not here yet. But back to our show. So we do stuff here where we talk about the weekend. It's finally Friday. God, I said happy Friday on Wednesday or Tuesday. My week has been, I did it to myself. It's not been fun. But on Fridays, we look ahead. We look ahead to the weekend because there's stuff going on. I mean, I feel like for the entire summer, we've talked about stuff other than basketball. There's stuff going on other than basketball. So we don't look ahead to the weekend. So I'll go first. Having a little bit of a change of really last minute change of plans. This weekend was supposed to be a big camping weekend for me and Kyle and our whole family. We go out, we camp, we just cook. We cook our own food. We call it campery. We bring the dogs and we hang out all weekend. We just hang out. Yeah. It got canceled because this weather canceled it. Super bummer, but it's okay. We were like, we're going to transition. We'll just chill. There's also a big music festival happening in Nashville, Pilgrimage Festival with Dave Matthews, Noah Khan, big guys.
I love Noah Khan.
He's the man, dude. We were like, let's go to that. Yeah. Now we think that's getting rained out. So I'm literally just going to, I think I'm going to pull all the blinds, shut all the doors, lock all the doors. And I don't know if I'm going to leave the house. We were talking about how some weekends you just need to chill. I've been planning on chilling all weekend for a long time. Yeah. Long time. And just because of this weather, I'm not going to let it bum me out. I might watch all of that new Vince McMahon documentary tomorrow. I think I'm just going to close myself in and just watch a lot of stuff. Just watch.
Love it. Yeah. Love it, man. That sounds like a solid weekend. And that's kind of what my weekend's going to look like. So I was supposed to go watch a high school football game tonight. One of my good buddies, coaches for ECS here in Memphis, a private school. I was going to go watch them. My nephew's supposed to play soccer in the morning, but my nephew Finn plays soccer. So, but with this weather, man, I don't feel good about either one of those prospects. And so I'm probably I've got a good friend from South Carolina that's coming in town to visit. She's one of my former coworkers. She's got a cool story. She used to work in the White House. She was sold real estate. She's an awesome lady. She worked with me in Paulers Island. She wants to get dinner with me and Maggie. So we're probably going to do that at some point this weekend. Maggie and I are just going to chill, go to the gym. Sunday, we're going to carve some pumpkins, which will be a lot of fun. And just kind of lay low, man. I think it's going to be a good low-key weekend, but we need it after the busyness earlier this week. October is going to be a super busy month for me on the weekend. So a low-key weekend carving pumpkins sounds really, really nice.
I need to rewind really quick. Did you say you said White House, not White Horse, right?
Correct. She worked in the White House with the Reagan administration and the first Bush.
Just casually name dropping. Yeah. She's like, I don't know what White House, but
she sold real estate in Vail. She's awesome. Her name's Gina. She's coming in this weekend to visit her best friend here in Memphis. And so she was like, I need to see you and meet Maggie. I'm like, let's do it.
Name dropping the White House is being like, I'm a carpenter. I work with Jesus. It's like that. It's
like she handed me, when I hired her, she sent me her resume and I had to read it 3 times because it definitely said White House. It definitely said Nancy Reagan. And I was like, I know that. I know those people.
It's one of those words where you're like, oh, that's real. It's like I just assume I've never seen. I mean, I've seen the White House, but it's like, is it really real? And it's like, and he did in the moon. Oh, I guess it is.
It Yeah, and like I'm like Nancy Reagan. Why does that sound familiar? Oh yeah, because she was the first lady back in the day.
Nancy Reagan. Why does that name ring a bell? Oh, that got me. That's gonna do it for our show today. Nancy Reagan, if you're watching, thank you.
I got bad news, man. She ain't watching. She's watching with Sean Connery.
Man, that one didn't quite give me as much as Sean Connery. But that's okay. Go check out Jess Benson. She's happening right now. She's coming on in 1 minute, 2 minutes. Thank you for watching, y'all. Have a good weekend. Stay safe if you were down in Florida, down in anywhere, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, anywhere that's getting this. It's going to be bad. So down there, Category 4, might be a Cat 5. Just stay safe. Have a good day. Have good weekends. Have good days at work. If I can leave you with 2 things today, just 2 things. Remember to be a little weird, just a little bit. And remember to smile, y'all. Remember to smile. Have a good day, everybody. See you on Monday.